Hey internet, what's up? Welcome to another edition of World of Roocraft. As you may guess from the title, I am Roo, and today I want to talk to you about the last playable race and starting zone we haven't reviewed yet. Today we tackle the mysterious Pandaren. But like always, before we can talk about their story and starting zone, I have to show you another class graphic. I just realized, this is the last time I can show you these. I'm not crying, you are crying. Shut up. Let's move on to the racial traits. First of all, they are bouncy, which means that they take only half the normal falling damage. The Pandarens are masters of the kitchen and have a 15 points bonus on the cooking skill and receive double the stats of well-fed effects. They achieved inner peace and their rested experience bonus lasts double the time. And last but not least, they have the Quaking Palm ability, which allows them to stun enemies for 4 seconds. And let's not forget the most important thing about the Pandaren. They are faction neutral in the beginning, meaning that after you finish the starting zone, you get to choose if you want to fight for the Horde or the Alliance. Great, so let's head over to the part where I mispronounce names. The Pandaren are believed to hail from an unknown ancient guardian, you know, one of these guys. And some Night Elf druids chokily claim that they are related to raccoons. Jokes aside, we do know that they have been around for a long time. The first Pandaren settled in the area we know today as the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Here they lived for some generations and became famous as poets and artists. They also discovered the wild gods known as August Celestials, but I'm not going to name them. What? Pandaren are lazy. I just go with the flow. Things were fine and dandy, but like always, things went down the toilet pretty fast. The so-called Mogul rose to power and enslaved the Pandaren. The Mogul were originally created by the Keepers to help them in the ordering of Azeroth, and like most Titan creations, they were afflicted with the Curse of Flesh. Figuring out that they are pretty good at fighting and stuff, they decided to do that from now on. That's pretty much all we have to talk about them from now. The Pandaren lived in slavery for a couple of generations until they finally rose up against their Mogul masters. Even though the Mogul's allies, the Zandalari trolls, joined the Mogul forces, the Pandaren were able to defeat them. Around this time, the Order of the Cloud Serpent was founded. It also marked the birth of the Pandaren Empire. The Pandaren stayed around and became close allies to the Highborn Empire. They even warned the Kaldari about the dangers of the Well of Eternity, but fell on deaf ears. To save themselves from the Burning Legion, they traveled to the island continent we know today as Pandaria and used the power of a mystical mist to shroud themselves from the rest of the world. The mist protected the Pandaren from ships and being discovered, and they lived there in peace for the next couple of millennia. But some adventurous Pandaren made it through the mist. For example, Shen Stormstout, who you may know from Roocraft 3. There was also a guy named Liu Lang. 800 years before the opening of the Dark Portal, Liu Lang's hunger for adventures caused him to venture out to the open sea on the back of the giant turtle Shang Xin Zhu. This wandering isle became a new home for some Pandaren and is floating through the ocean ever since. So let's skip ahead some years to today. And we're talking about the Cataclysm again. Took us a while. The Cataclysm caused the protective mist of Pandaria to weaken, opening the island to the Horde and Alliance. For the first time ever, someone else but a Pandaren sets foot on Pandaria. But that's not where we come in yet. We start our story as a student of the Pandaren master Shang Zi, living on the Wandering Isle. We have to go to our training and put our skills to the test for beating up other students. As a reward, Shang Zi shares some backstory with us. Things are not great on the Wandering Isle. The climate is changing and Shang Xin Zhu is moving uncontrolled through the ocean. To figure out what's wrong with him, we have to talk to the giant turtle. But to do so, we need the help of 4 protective spirits. This is our first big task. We start out with reigniting Hu, the fire spirit. On our search for Huo, we also bump into Isa Cloudsinger and Chief Firepaw, our new best friends. So we head to the Shrine of Inner Light, and after a fight with a Pandaren ghost, we reignite Huo. One down, 3 to go. To find the water spirit Shu, we ask Old Man Liang for help. Old Man Liang tells us that he used to play with Shu when he was younger, and since he's too old to do this now, Shu went all sulky and bitchy. We managed to bribe Shu with a shiny pearl, and to further win him over, we play a little bit with him. I hope you aren't afraid of heights. Next up is the Spirit of Earth, Wugo. We find the lazy shit sleeping in Daolo village. To wake him up, we try out ringing this giant gong. So let's see how that plays out. What does help though is asking Shu to use Water Beam on him. Why didn't we do that in the first place? Now there's only one spirit left, Da Feng, the Spirit of Air. We find him in the Chamber of Whispers, where he promptly tries to kill us. Turns out that the little guy is just scared of the giant onyx snake, Shao Ren. We help the little airhead in an epic battle for disguise and slay the dragon. With all 4 spirits united, we are now ready to talk to Shang Xin Zhu. But before we can do that, Master Shang Zi has a little chat with us. He reminds us of the importance of our mission and dies. Kinda. He fuses its spirit with the Isle and turns into a Yoda ghost. I guess pandas do that, right? So we hop into an air balloon and chat with Shang Xin Zhu. Our landlord tells us that he is in great pain and suffering from a splinter in his side. Turns out that this splinter is actually an Alliance prison airship that crashed into Shang Xin Zhu. We promise him to help him and head to the Pyru forest. Here we make first contact with the Horde in the Alliance. After helping Mikael Bay acquiring some explosives, Michael Bay and explosives, we help the Alliance fending off a group of lizard people. Yi eventually comes up with a plan to help Shang Xin Zhu. He wants to use the Horde's explosives to blast away the airship. Isa isn't that thrilled with the plan and gives Yi the Trip Guild treatment. We gather the forces of the Alliance and Horde to heal the resulting wound, and Shang Xin Zhu is saved. Now comes the interesting part of the Pandaren. We have to choose which of our new friends we want to join, Isa and the Alliance or Yi and the Horde. I decided for Isa, since I already have enough Horde characters in this particular realm. And that surely is the only reason I decided to side with her. We depart from the Wandering Isles and make our way to Stormwind to officially join the Alliance. And that's it. We are now ready to continue our great adventure in Azeroth. I know a lot of people make fun of the Pandaren, saying that they are just a joke race and were just added to the game to piggyback off the Kung Fu Panda craze that was going on at the time. But I don't agree with that. First of all, the Pandaren have already been around in Roocraft before Kung Fu Panda was even a thought in a coked out executive's mind. But I may be impartial once again, just like with the dwarves. Just love the oriental Asian style of their homelands, how laid back and zen they are, and don't forget their love for beer. Maybe I just see myself in them. I did skip over some parts in this review that I want you to experience for yourself. For example, the banter between Isa and G.
When we speak to Shang Xin Zhu.
When am I not respectful? You hurt me, Asa.
I might, if you embarrass us.
There's also an overarching side quest involving Jojo Ironbrow. You have to gather several materials for him so he can show off his might. Haha, he probably got a concussion, maybe he's going to die. Bodily harm is fun. And that's all I can tell you about the Pandaren for today. And would you believe it? We are done reviewing all the different starting zones and races in World of Warcraft. Well, kinda. I'm well aware that there's still a Death Knight class and Demon Hunter class. Both classes start out in different starting zones, but I decided to talk about them as soon as we reach their respective add-ons. We will, of course, continue our adventure in World of Roocraft, and going forward, I want to review the different areas of Azeroth. As you can imagine, it will take a little bit more time to make these videos, so please have mercy with me. Next time we will pick up with our Forsaken Warlock friend, and venture into the Silver Pine Forest. Like always, if you enjoyed this review, let me know by hitting the like button or leaving a comment. If you feel especially generous, consider sharing this video or subscribing to the channel. This is Roo signing off. Bye bye.